So,
Hi.
First of all, I was talking to someone earlier about I've been a fan of yours for years.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Not just the later years where like back in like Lady Croissant.
Oh my God.
My wife would yell at me because I would literally just play it over and over and over again in the car.
I love irritating spouses. It's one of my specialties.
Well, she wasn't irritated by the music. She was irritated I wouldn't let her listen to anything else in the car. It was just that.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I love the transition that you grew from 07 to now, like where you're here and you're doing you're in the mainstream pop world.
Yeah.
But
I always wanted to do that. In fact, my first album I thought was pop. Healing is Difficult. And then somehow I ended up with 07, and that did not feel like pop to me, but I loved it. It made me feel like a credible person, a credible artist or whatever. And then I made a record that was in that genre because that's what I was listening to on tour with 07, stuff like that. And then right after that, and that was Breathe Me and 6 Feet Under was on that album, I made a pop record and I delivered it to Go Beat. And they said, we can't put this out. This is a pop record. You're a down-tempo artist. And I was like, what? And they were like, your fans will be confused. And I was like, what fans? First of all, I've sold 8,000 copies of this record. This was before 6 Feet Under put it in there. And they said, well, we can't accept it. And I said, well, this is what I'm delivering, so you can drop me. Yeah. And so they did. And then after talking to a lot of people, I realized I was going to have to transition. I was like, well, why can't I put out a different record every time that's different stylistically? This is what I want to do now. I've always been into pop music. And people, I was like, well, like, how come Beck can do it? And they were like, well, he's established his identity first, and then you can stray from it. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I was naive.
Yeah.
So I kept working towards my pop stuff. Yeah. Like I was creeping towards that. I would just get closer and closer.
Right. Well, actually, I saw you in concert at Webster Hall years ago.
Was that when someone gave me a big chocolate bar, and I was like, is this been down your pants? Because it was bendy, and someone gave me an umbrella?
I remember the umbrella.
Was it Terminal 5? Oh, no. That's
there was something, you were on, it was a Harmar Superstar opening for you.
That is crazy. It was so long ago.
But it was actually, you came on stage and brought up the whole story about how, the story you just told me, like about how you're like, and it came out as, look, the record label says that you guys don't want to hear this, but I'm going to play it for you right now. Here's a tidbit, and then the crowd loved it.
Oh, good.
And yeah, I mean, it's great to see you transition from that, and it's also great to see because songwriters normally don't get the amount of attention that you're getting right now, which I think is great.
Thank you.
No problem. But how are you taking it? Because again, I mean, this whole thing now is you don't want like. You're performing on TV and everything they're asking you to do, but you don't want the attention, right?
Well, I like attention from my friends, like from my loved ones and stuff. I'm like a goofy, I'm a goofy gal. I'm like I'm an entertainer. Right. But really what I realized 3.5 years ago, I got sober and I'd been real sick and I was sad. And I realized I have to adjust my life entirely because the clapping from strangers wasn't nourishing my soul. It was, and then getting more famous and having people, like it went from 2 people outside the stage door to like 50 and they're screaming. And it's super weird. It's like you have a physiological response. If people are chasing you or screaming or excited, it's not a natural state. Like we're equals, everybody poops. And so to have someone put you on a pedestal, I call it pedestalia, like is such a weird experience for someone like me. Some people are fine with it or enjoy it. That was not my experience. I did not enjoy it. It felt like being hunted. My body would go into fight or flight response. I would get crazy diarrhea. I lost weight. Like I was just like, I didn't respond well to it.
Right.
And so I took more and more drugs and alcohol to like, I don't know, try and self-medicate in some way. Also, it turned out I was bipolar 2. So I was just like, I was cuckoo bananas, but I was uncomfortable is really the bottom line. And so when I got sober, I realized everything had to change, that my sobriety had to be the most important thing. And in order to maintain that, I needed to develop a routine. I wanted to be still, be in one place, be with my dogs, the things that made me feel safe, nourish my friendships. And And that's what I did. And so my plan was I'm going to become a pop songwriter. And I met with a bunch of managers. I was like, I'm going to quit being an artist up front. I'll put out music for my fans, but I won't even I won't do anything they'll know. And then I met with these managers and I was like, I want to become a pop songwriter, and most of them were like, I don't think I'm right for you, I don't do that, or I don't, whatever, have those contacts. And I spoke to JD, who's my current manager, and he was like, and I was like my goal is I want to write a song for Eminem and a song for Beyonce. And it was so ludicrous to him, like it was so wildly ambitious. He was like, I don't really ever work with anyone unless they're mental. He was like, if they're mental and wildly ambitious, that was so ludicrous. When you said that, I was like, I might have to give this girl a shot. Like, coming from where I was to be like, I want to write a song for Eminem and one for Beyonce. And of course, now I've done that. And so, like, working together, JD and I have made my dreams come true. And every time I meet a goal, I'm like, this is crazy and amazing. So with my own stuff, it's play.
Right.
I don't need money. I've made my money like reaching my goals, writing pop songs for other people. And so with my own stuff, it's literally play. I don't want to be famous. I'm doing this. I've done like maybe 6 interviews. Like, I'm just doing the important ones that are really going to make a difference because I'm clearly ambitious.
Right.
I don't want to be famous like for my face. I don't want to like have to dress nice or, or sell my like sex or whatever, which is pretty standard in the pop industry. But what I do want is I want my music to be successful. Like anybody else, I want to be like, recognized for my work.
Right.
And so that's what I'm trying to achieve. And so this stuff that I'm doing with not showing my face or, putting a paper bag on my head for Billboard or cover, that is just play.
Right.
Like, I'm seeing what I can get away with and this radio, I can do some radio, just a few important ones, you know?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's like, really, it's just really picking and choosing what's important and only doing what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because if anything starts to stress me out, my managers are so amazing.
Right.
They want me to be healthy and happy above all else.
Right.
And they're just like, let's cancel everything.
Yeah.
Like, relax, go to Palm Springs with your dogs and chill out.
Right. Well, they're so protective of you. I don't want to hold you any longer because you have been here like all day.
You're so sweet.
Just tell us one last thing, if it's cool.
Yeah, of course. It's fine.
Chandelier.
Yeah.
What is it about? Like, it's rising up our charts on the weekend countdown with Spider Harrison. It's doing great. I love it. I'm so happy to see you on our countdown as a fan. What is it about?
Well, I guess I was writing pop song that day, so I really thought I wasn't thinking it was for me. I was like actually focused on Rihanna in a sense. So I wrote the music first. It's one of 3 songs I've written the music for as well. And Jesse, who is my producer, Greg Kirstens, it was his engineer and is now a producer himself, came in the room and I was playing these chords and he started playing the marimba. And so it sort of, the music came first, and then Jesse built the track, sent it to me, and I just wrote, I think it was in bed, I wrote the lyrics to it. And at first, and then I cut it, which means I recorded the vocals. And it was only, and I really don't know, most of it's channeling. Or I was like, oh, it can be about one of these pop stars like being a party person, but it really being actually not really based in joy. Right. That it's actually like to avoid discomfort. And, cool, I wonder which of these cool girls will do this song or whatever. And shortly afterwards, I just thought, I don't know, I related to it. I realized it was about me,
right?
Like in my old life, and that like I was seriously party girl. Like I was blowjobs and cartwheels. So I was so fun.
Right.
But I was sad.
Yeah.
Like I was actually sad. And so I guess that's what happened. That's what came out in the song. And once I realized it might have been about me,
right,
I felt attached to it, and I was like, oh, I can't give it away.
Right. And then with the album coming out next month, is this a tip of the iceberg? Like what are we going to hear on the album?
Oh.
Like what is there like a flow to the album, or is it just you playing?
I really have no idea, and I don't sequence my own albums because I have no objectivity. So there's certainly some pop songs on there. And then there's also my old vibe. Like there's stuff that I knew I couldn't really give away because it probably wouldn't make radio, because the lyrics aren't broad enough. Like it's a little more, maybe a little more intellectual or verbose or whatever. Yeah, and it's down tempo. There's a lot of down tempo stuff on there. But I think there's a good mix. Yeah.
Is there anything you're excited for us to hear?
I mean, here's the thing. It's already out. Elastic Heart is my other favorite song, and it came out on the Hunger Games soundtrack. But what I would like to do is re-release it at some point and work it properly.
Right.
Because I feel like it got missed. It was overlooked.
Yeah. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just not right time or something. Yeah. And then like 3 years later, people are like, oh, what's this song? I've never heard it before.
Yeah, and I don't think that it would be an issue to work that song and re-release it at all. I think we could make it work.
Yeah.
With the right with the right people involved, I think maybe we could make that happen.
That's awesome. Well, I could talk to you forever, honestly, because you are so nice. Fun to have. And you're in New York, right?
Yeah, I have places. I actually live predominantly in Los Angeles, but I do have a place here because I'm lucky. Thanks, pop stars.
Well, seriously, honestly, our door is open to you. Come
You're
back
so
whenever
nice.
you guys want.
Thank you.
All you guys, seriously. We love having you guys.
Thank you.
This is we try to be a very artist, creative environment. Let you guys come in, do whatever you want, honestly.
Awesome.
Pick 15 of your songs that you want us to hear and talk about. So, honestly, whenever, please.
Thank you so much. I'll definitely be back in to promote Elastic Heart.
Cool. Thank you, Sia.
Thank you.
Bye.